Hey everybody, Simon here. Today I want to go ahead and discuss the top 10 rules of money. Why it's important to have some rule sets with your finances and money in general in order to have money, to grow money, and to keep money as well. So these are my top 10 rules of money. Before I go into this video, go ahead, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel because it helps the YouTube algorithm and it helps motivate me to make more videos. Let's get into this video. So the first rule of money is obviously spend less than you make. In fact, spend a lot less money than you make. Often people get caught up with the first rule of money. They spend more. American economy is driven by credit. In fact, every time you walk into a Banana Republic or a Home Depot or anywhere you walk in, they want to get you to sign up for that credit card right there on the spot.
Hey, is there a cash register left? Just one where you can buy something and immediately walk out the door without dealing with this whole thing? Do you have a rewards card? No. And I'm begging you that this be the end of this conversation.
They're basically teaching you the habit of having credit cards and putting purchases on future payments. But the problem is a lot of people spend that money not having it. So they'll put everything on their credit card and then start paying those interest rates because they can't afford to pay their bills on time. So spend less than you make. That's the number one rule of money. Do not use credit cards as a method to purchase things that you cannot afford. Those credit cards give you an opportunity to spend more than you make, and that's why they get a lot of people in trouble. So spend less than you make. Rule number two is learn from your mistakes. You're going to have a lot of mistakes with money. You're going to lose money literally falling from your wallet one day. You're going to lose money in the stock market, in investments, relationships. When you don't learn from your mistakes, like anything else, you tend to repeat them. So if you have lost money in the past or heard of someone else losing money in the past, that's a mistake you need to learn from and not allow it to happen to you in the future. Rule number three is pay your bills on time. This one is as important as rule number one. So pay your bills on time. Those two go hand in hand.
Well, what are you going to do about money and bills and...
You know, I've never really liked paying bills. I don't think I'm going to do that either.
If you can't pay your bills on time, that means you are either irresponsible or you're spending more than you make and you can't afford to make the payment. Paying your bills on time is good for your credit, so check out my credit repair video or how to get good credit. Credit is important, and if you can't pay your bills on time, guess what? Your credit's going to tank, and if it tanks, you're not going to be able to buy that house, invest in a car, or you're going to be paying more for everything that you finance because your interest rate is higher. You're not a top of the line candidate for them to loan you money, and they make more money off people like you if you have bad credit because they don't make that much money off loaning vehicles at 2% interest rate versus 6 or 7% that you would get as a rate if you had bad credit. Okay, rule number four is make a plan for your money. There's nothing better than planning out how you're going to spend your money a year, 5 years, or 10 years from now. That means get yourself a great CPA, a certified public accountant. Get yourself a financial advisor that's qualified with a proper license. Give them your financial situation. If you're making a certain amount of income a year, you really have to plan not only how your money's going to be spent today, but how is it going to carry over to your future generations. So make a plan for your money. How much you want coming in, how much you want going out, and what are some of the things you could do in between to save it, as well as invest it to get you even more money. So having a plan is essential.
Well, what are you going to do with your $20,000? Buy a giraffe. What are you going to do with your $20,000? Quit school.
Rule number five is having a safety fund or an emergency fund for your money. Typically, I like to keep about 6 months to a year worth of money in my bank to make sure it covers any type of disaster. So if my expenses a month are, let's say, $10,000, I want to have $120,000 sitting around as an emergency to go at any point. If you're earning passive income, say from rental properties, or if you have one type of income stream, or let's say your wife gets laid off and all of a sudden you guys have half the income, but your spending is can be reduced, but it's still high. You're not going to pull, say, your kid out of school. You can't just dump that vehicle you leased last month. You have to have a backup for your assets or your money or your cash flow.
What's your contingency plan?
Contingency plan?
Your backup plan. You got to have some kind of backup plan, right?
No, we don't have a backup plan.
So you need to make sure you have several months covered. Minimum 6 months. I like to go by 12, and some people take it up to 24 months. Rule number 6 is say no to bad debt. Not good debt, but bad debt. There's a video I did which is good debt and bad debt. So good debt is housing that appreciates in value. Asset-based bad debt is like loaning a vehicle like a Tesla Model X, which I did, or actually I purchased it, but a car. That's a bad debt. That's a depreciating asset that's going to fall in value right away. A house is an appreciating asset in most cases, and it's going to go up in value. So avoid bad debt when you can, because it won't make you money. Rule number 7 is talk about money. Talk about money with your kids. Talk about money with your wife. Make sure you guys are on the same page. The last thing you want is some surprises. You don't want to be surprised running out of money or even dealing with a situation because you've never had these conversations about money.
I don't talk to my girlfriend about money. It is rude and unsexual.
True. It's best to hide our money problems from women.
I totally agree with you.
So if you don't talk to your spouse, your partner, your girlfriend, your parents about money, you're going to be in trouble. You won't understand their viewpoints, and they won't understand yours, and you're not sharing thoughts and ideas that can improve your cash flow. So talk about money. So rule number 8 is have money goals. These goals could be pretty much anything. It could be making money per year. So you could set a goal for $100,000 you want to make a year, and you could take that to 120 in 2 years or whatever it may be. You could have a money goal that you want to have $1 million in your bank account at all times, so you could do whatever the hell you want.
How about $1 billion?
All right. So these are goals that have to do with money, and these are supposed to be set early on, and you need to visualize those goals. Rule number 9 is when you have money saved up or you have money, you need to know what your money is doing sitting there. So you want to make sure you know your saving percentage of money versus the inflation. So for example, if you have 100 grand sitting in your safe, that money's being deflated daily. So you should invest it into a safe return that's conservative, and you could check with your financial advisor on how to do that. But basically, any cash that's sitting around is depreciating cash, and you want to be careful. So know your percentages in your bank accounts, the interest that you're earning, the inflation rate, and so forth. So this will help you out with understanding what your sitting money is doing for you.
I go low, you go high. Look, I know the game, man. This is business talk. Come on.
Let me explain to you something. There's a recession in the country. I got stockholders I got to be responsible for. I got to do it, Tony. I got to go 10% on the first 12 million. That's in denominations of 20. I'll go 8% on your $10 bills and 6 points on your 5s.
Made a bill there. We go somewhere else, okay?
And finally, don't be frugal or don't have a tight fist with money. If you are frugal or if you are not spending your money, then there's no point of making it. Personally, you should spend responsibly, in my opinion, but your life is short and you only live one life. So if you're making money, you got to spend it. Enjoy the best things that you could have in life. Make sure there's enough to pass it down. Make sure there's enough to cover you for bad times or hard times. But at the end of the day, you need to enjoy money. So having some frugal mentality is some of the worst things I've seen in people. In fact, in the Bay Area, in the Silicon Valley area, I've seen very wealthy millionaires that have $7-8 million houses, if not more, driving a Toyota Camry or a Corolla. And to me, that's one of the most ridiculous things because it's very hard to make money, and money buys you the best in life. So I never understood a person that dresses like a bum and doesn't take care of themselves and doesn't have nice things when they're earning a lot of money. I don't know what they're saving it for or who they're keeping it for, but they tend to keep the money for themselves as a prize or understanding or number. They're not spending it, and that's a waste of money.
Dude. What are you doing? Huel. Hey, quit screwing around.
Anyway, guys, I hope you liked this video. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. As always, I appreciate it. Comment below about money. I'll reply to your comments, and I'll see you guys here next time. Thanks.